Dear Harstem, I'm a big fan of your work. I owe this in particular, because this is the only thing worth watching on your channel. Wait, what? Kind of a weird backhanded compliment is that to start with. Sorry. In my opinion, and in opinion of many Terrans of StarCraft community, TVP is the most unbalanced matchup in the days of modern balance. I think the reason of that lays behind mid-game army of TOS that decimates Terran without any effort. Consequently, if Terran did not get severely ahead or kill TOS in the early game, Terran player should just leave the game and stop wasting his own time, because TOS have freedom to do anything he wants in the most stupid way possible. This game is a good example of TOS just being slow, sucking at micro and multitasking, but still winning because he is good at abusing his race. Enjoy. So the question is it Imba or do I suck? Welcome back to a new episode. Alright, so what were the complaints? Well, the first complaint was that nothing except IODIS apparently is worth watching. And the second complaint was that the TOS is imbalanced. No use playing a longer game. It's a Masters player, 4400 from NA. So curious to see what he's gonna do here. Is there like my button? Depot first to start with. Also just gonna have a quick look at the protos. Now, whenever I think of TVP, it is not an easy matchup, of course. Like it's a difficult matchup for both sides. As a TOS, you can feel like no matter what you do, you're always gonna lose workers to any type of harass that the Terran throws at you. It can be difficult to scout different things. Like all of these things are always quite annoying to play against. You know, you get your Hellion drops, your Mine drops, your Banshees, Liberators, Battle Crews. Then on the other hand, for Terran it can be hard to deal with Dark Templar drops or with an early Oracle. Even things like Disruptors in the mid or in the late game can be annoying, or the Charge Lot A-move armies can be very annoying as well to deal with for Terran players. So it's kind of a matchup that has two sides in that way, where both players always struggle in. You hear a lot of complaining from both sides because Widow Mines feel so unfair, and for the Terrans, well, everything feels unfair for Terrans, because as long as Terran doesn't have a 100% win rate, these guys are gonna keep complaining. Seen SCV Scout season Nexus before Core. Terran opened up with gas first, slightly less economical. It's actually very rare to see SCV Scout with gas first, but you know, it is of course possible. Gas first does indicate that this is going to be a fast attack, usually with factory units, because you sacrifice a little bit of your economy to get that faster attack out by about 15 to 20 seconds. So Mine Drop can hit at like 420, 418, 416. If you proxy a starport, you can have a Hellion drop at like 4 minutes in your opponent's base, or even 355 if you're really fast. So you see the factory go down, reactor goes down straight after. And if you're playing Barracks first into Reaper, usually you'll see Reaper and then Marine. You simply don't have the gas to get the factory and the reactor. So that's kind of the big difference here. Second gas should be going down soon, most likely. Okay, yeah, he's gonna get it on 23. Okay, here we go. Let's see what this first Reaper can achieve on the other side of the map. Shouldn't be too much. Usually the first adept is going to be ready already. There we go, especially against gas first. That's kind of a big deal. Majority, I mean, it's not going to be that big of a deal because it's just going to be out. Oh, it kind of ignores that Reaper. That's an interesting move. Bunker with gas first is also something you don't see at all. You don't have that much money already, so investing in a bunker is kind of odd. He's late with this swap. The Hellion should almost be out already. I'm not sure what he did, but he messed up the build order completely somewhere, because the Hellion should pop at about 304, and then this type of move is really not possible. Did the Reaper die? No, Reaper went back home or killed an SCV or killed a probe. So actually, I think what's gonna happen here is that he opened with gas first, so he has all the downsides of gas first, and none of the advantages. That's kinda like buying a Calvin Klein shirt, you know, and then not having the brand on it. So it's really expensive, the quality is the same as any other shirt, and then you remove the logo of Calvin Klein and it's just a regular shirt, but you paid 15 times as much for it. That's pretty much what Like My Button just did with this build. So he paid more for basically the same. That's a Absolutely fantastic. His Liberator's gonna be late, these Hellions are late. It's good to see that he's got his build orders down. And as he started with a backhanded compliment to me, I'll say that I like this build order, except the way you executed it, and I also don't like the build order. But I do like Hellions, so you know, there's still some compliment in there. He's actually gonna get damage done as well, it is ridiculous. It also is a little out of position, but I guess 4 cars killing 9 workers, yeah, it's actually good for Terran usually. So Terran's actually in a really good position right now. Workers, I think, should actually be even, so it means that Like My Button hasn't been producing SCVs consistently. If you kill 9 workers, I think at this point you should be at least even, maybe even 1 or 2 workers ahead. But it's okay, he's still in a very good spot. He forgets his 2nd and 3rd barracks for quite a while already. He's getting mines to deal with any type of follow-up Phoenixes. Gonna lose a mine for free, it's not the biggest of deals. I'm not gonna blame him for that. I'm actually also a thing usually when you play against Stargate is that you actually go into triple CC before triple barracks, because a lot of the time it's really difficult to do damage with 3 racks against Stargate. So what you want to do is you want to get a bigger army with 1-1 upgrades later on, and then just kind of take some map control and perhaps do a 2-2 push or a big 1-1 all in off of like 5 racks and with decent eco behind it, something like that. But straight 3 racks is really quite uncommon, even though in this case I don't even mind it as much because he did so much damage. The problem is that he forgot barracks 2 and 3. So this is kind of like trying to hit a timing, but then basically building everything too late. You know, it's like doing an Immortal all in and then forgetting your Robo for 2 minutes. It's like, well, your Immortal in is like 2 less Immortals at this point. So everything is just going to be delayed. Like, he's absolutely no units. Usually, he also only has 32 workers. I guess he lost a couple, but... his lip is also doing damage. It's actually good. Yeah, his damage is fantastic. He's not macroing at all. And he's supply block like his life depends on it. Look at this one. That's a big one. 2. Is he gonna build more? I always love it when people build like 5 depots at the same time. It makes me really happy. Okay, so he's about to hit... Usually you're supposed to hit right now with about 94, 95 supply as a Terran. +1 done. Stim, combat. I guess if you have 4 cars and open gas first, it's going to be a little later, but let's say 7 minutes then. He's not even close to hitting at this point. He doesn't even have medevacs out yet. This barracks doesn't even have a reactor yet. He's getting a 2nd starport. Huh? 5 racks? Alright. Yes, yes, yes. So... I absolutely love everything he does in this build, except all the barracks and the 2nd starport, and also his macro is terrible, and I don't like his micro. So really, I just like that he has a couple of mines over here. See what I did there, buddy? I can play the same game. I can play the same... How many mines is he gonna get? If you're this afraid of Phoenixes, perhaps you should just build 2 Cyclones and like 2-3 Vikings, buddy. Like, this is not the way. This really is not the way. Especially because his opponent is playing Colossus as well. Like, Colossus are really good against mines. Does he have any info about what his opponent is doing though? And he knows it's a robo wave. Why is he building 11 mines? Wait, where did the starport go? Did he cancel it? No, wait, this is so... No, never mind. I'm blind. This is peak performance, guys. 2 starports. Both building a Viking each. Okay, here we go. He's adding the extra Vikings. But for a second there, both the starports were only building a single Viking. And that made me really happy. Another supply block. Which this one might actually last till eternity. This one, it is possible that this one never stops. Oh, he's just not... What is this? Okay, throws a depot on top of her. Still supply block straight away again. Builds 2 more depots. I love this. The best part is that he's not doing anything, so he really has no excuse, right? It's like, if he was multitasking or something, like, oh, Terran macro is so hard, like, he literally was just producing units. That's all he was doing, from 5 racks to 2 starports. You just need to click like 5 different buttons every 30 seconds, and he forgot to click one of them. This is absolutely fantastic. I love this. is you know you have the guys in the band with the triangle, you know, the ding. You have to play like once every minute. That's my boy, Like My Button, and he forgot to do it twice already. He only has like 5 times he needs to play the thing. Ding. He already missed 2 of the 5, or 2 of the 3. We're not even at the end of the song yet. He's already missed 2. So here comes a push. Okay, let's do some analysis of this situation. Okay, some analysis of this situation. Perhaps, you know, let's call it a mid-game review. Ding, 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 ding. Little bit of a mid-game review here. So, what do we see here? We have 136 supply. We have 8 Vikings, 12 mines, 44 SCVs, 24 Marines, 9 Marauders. And we're hitting at 9 minutes and 31 seconds. With only +1 attack. No 1-1, no Ghost Academy, nothing. Absolutely just... This is all there is. Now, if you compare this to the top players, you can see that sometimes they'll have 2-2 on the way already. Their supply is going to be way higher. They're going to have 66 workers. And they're going to have most likely more Marauders and less mines. Because you don't want to get 24 Marines and 11 mines against Colossus. That's absolutely terrible. That's not what you want. Now, do I still think that Like My Button is going to win this fight and cancel the 4th base? Yes. I think that if he falls asleep in front of his keyboard, he A moves, then falls asleep in front of his keyboard, then wakes up 25 seconds later, he's gonna have killed this 4th base and be ahead. But we're gonna see exactly what his plan is. So he has 2 medevacs. It starts with a stim. He moves forward, moves back, mines kill a single zealot, loses his Vikings to all the Stalkers while all of his bio is standing in the back. How does 1 Colossus survive? There was 2 Colossus and you had 8 Vikings. I don't think these units have actually done any damage whatsoever. I really wish we could see the DPS of Marines and Marauders in this fight, because he must have done, like, he just moved around for the majority of it. It's like bringing Usain Bolt to the war. Like, alright guys, we have a new asset and he can run real fast. Oh, how's he with a gun? We're not sure yet, but he can run real fast. That's like these guys in a nutshell. He's done just meow. Meow. It's moving real fast. He loses the fight. Against someone that went 4 base, Phoenix Colossus, losing workers in the early game, 9 of them. Like, this should absolutely not be possible against a 2 base all-in. To be fair, if your 2 base all-in hits at the same timing as most people hit their 5 base 2-2 timing, then I guess it makes a little more sense. But holy crap, my dude. What is happening over here? Second eBay armory going down. Okay. I dig it, I dig it. You know, this is something I can dig. So, I don't like your build. No, wait. I love the way you've been playing, but really the only thing you did right is getting the second eBay in the armory. The rest of it is pretty mediocre. Huh? Who's the mad dog now, bro? So, funnily enough, Terran still is kind of okay. I mean, supplies are even. Upgrades aren't that far ahead of for the toss. He's gonna get 2-2, he's getting Storm. Second Robo is nice. Seeing some Liberator production. I don't mind the Liberator production. 5th, 6th gas. Should probably, I mean, he already had the infrastructure up from minute 6, so it's not like he needs to add a couple more barracks or a second starport. He already has those things. He can just add a 4th CC and pretty much go on with his day, which, in my opinion, is nice. Nice for him, you know, he's even pulling ahead in supply again. I have no clue how that's possible, but probably some macro issues. Okay, he only has 5 gateways, makes some sense. Now, how is his map control, his vision? He hasn't taken the tower once yet. He has no units on the map spotting any type of army move out. Same could be said for the TOS, but actually, TOS has an observer. TOS has more vision. Nice. Oh, here comes a push out, blind push out. So he just got blasted in a fight against a guy that was up 2 bases. Probably the play is to not move across the map, to try and redo that, because you know your opponent had better eco and you didn't win the last fight. So, and your tech didn't improve. So really, all you're doing is the same thing, except most likely your opponent is gonna have more units than he did last time. And last time it already went absolutely awful. So here we see, oh, Stalkers, Colossi, Storm. more units. I scan. It's gonna be hard. Let me sacrifice my Vikings for free real fast. Here you go. 4 Vikings for free. Now time to return back home. I'm not sure if like my button quite know how the game works. Like maybe if I give him 4 Vikings he'll leave the game. Bloodless starts moving across the map. This is a little bit unlucky for Bloodless. I mean unlucky, he should have scouted here. Now he might lose a 5th base. I mean he's still up 2 bases, so losing 1 base is fine. The worst part is he might actually turn back home. If he just goes for the base trade here, I think he wins. Straight up. No? Ooh. Oh wow, splits up his army even. I love that. He's gonna get 1, 2 Liberators here. Are we using any storms? Yeah, decent storms. Disruptor Ball perhaps? No? Okay. On the other side we have the army of Bloodless. Let's see. Usain Bolt? No, actually doing some damage here. Jesus. Those are some big storms, but nah, none of the Disruptor Balls. It was a good fight for Bloodless, honestly, here. On the other hand, this fight didn't go quite as hot, I do have to admit. I mean, Bloodless just have better upgrades as well. It's 2-2 here against 1-1, so he's just taking a 5th base on the other side. You know, he's kind of unfazed, Bloodless. He split, kept his head calm. It's like, alright, time to kill some workers. I guess this is pretty much it for like my button, right? Well, what else is there? Oh, maybe with this flank he can do something. Does he have +2 yet? Yeah, okay, he has +2 attack right now. He's gonna be able to clean up these stalkers with these marauders, most likely. Perhaps if he sends the zealots across the map or spends some of this money, wouldn't be possible, but you know, like my button will live to see another day. And now, this is a thing that Terrans do very often. Any other player of any other race, right now, would look at this situation and say, okay, I lost 20 workers, my opponent is still up a base. I mean, he's expanding again, but I mean, like my button has no clue about it. He had better upgrades than me, better tech. His micro is better, his brain seemed to be functioning. What is this? I'm gonna just pause my... Why is he doing this rather than just mining from the natural? There's still plenty of mineral patches. The good old long distance mining. Well, there's still a perfectly fine one right next to you. It's like having a water well next to your house and then going to the one 5 kilometers further away. So why do you do it? It's the same water. Well, I don't know. I saw like my button do that in a game of StarCraft once. So here we are. I lost my train of thought, man. This guy is in my head. Alright, the other races, they look at this situation and go, alright, this is over. Perhaps I'll do a final attack and then I leave the game. But Terrans always do this thing where they stay in the game and then they pretend like it's still an even game. And then when they lose in a game that goes past 15 minutes, they go, oh, late game is impossible to win. Well, yeah, you're down 40 supply, 20 workers. The fact that you're still staying in this game is a testament to how good your race is defensively. Like, this should not be possible, my friend. Like, you did nothing right here. Still down upgrades. He's still gonna try, you know? Once again, like my button is like, So I lost my entire army again. I lost my fort. He has way better eco than me, still better upgrades. Maybe another push out is the play, but he comes to his senses like, you know what? No, that's not gonna be it. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna siege up, get a sensor tower at my 3rd, another sensor tower at the 4th would be great as well. I love the reaction times here. Ooh, okay. Let's see how quickly he's gonna be able to respond to these zealots. I think rather fast. Yeah, this should be fine. No stim, there's no real hurry, of course. Money is for losers anyway, you don't want to get back to mining too fast. This toss is playing pretty well. I'm impressed with you, Bloodless. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. You're playing a good game here. 6th base and everything, you just keep expanding, getting your upgrades. Not sure what the Voider is, but you're my new best friend. Good job, buddy. Alright. Like my button, still just relaxing over here. Bumpy dumpy dum, no. Hello? What's the squad gonna do? Okay, it's gonna just transfer to a new base. You see, this is not even that bad. The thing that like my button should be thinking about is a sensor tower over here, planetary over here, more liberators than he can imagine. Perhaps just spread one marine over here, one marine over here as well. You know, so you have some vision in front of your bases. the double Liberator on top of your own third base because you think you might be too slow to respond. I think that's a good play as well. He has been pretty slow to respond, so it's like, you know what? I don't trust my own reaction speed. Let's just do it like this. This is the equivalent of building like 8 cannons on one of your bases because you're afraid of 5 Zerglings. I'm a big fan of that always. So is my man Bloodless, by the way. So I saw a couple of weird dots on the mini-map. I was like, I think I know what this is. Okay, so here, good scan, sees the entire army. And what you're gonna do now is you're just gonna... We actually lost the sensor tower, that's bad. Because you want to match the movement of your opponent. So if the opponent is here, you put the Liberators here. If the opponent moves here, you put the Liberators here. If the opponent moves there, etc, etc. And you just make sure that your Liberator is always in position with your army behind it. In this case, the army isn't behind it. Like my button, it's gonna lose 4 Liberators for free. A couple of Disruptor Balls, gonna hit the entire army as well. Okay. Now, this is one of those clear moments where in the Terran brain, you can only think, man, that looked really broken. He just walked into 4 Liberator zones and killed them. Because in the Terran mind, 4 Liberators, which is really not that high of a supply amount, should be able to completely cut off this pad from the toss from... should completely cut off this part from the toss from ever entered. Oh, I invested like a bunch of supply in there, like that should be safe right now. But that's not quite how it works. I mean, it's gonna be fine for a little bit, and if you have your army behind it, you can just walk in. But yeah, if there's just 4 Liberators, you're just gonna blink in and one-shot them. Like, that's just pretty much how it works. Then you tank tank 4 Disruptor hits with your head first, and oh, I died. It's like running head first into a wall 7 times and then complaining that you have a concussion. My friend, like, it makes you the idiot, not the wall. I guess that's not quite how it works. Right, let me just grab the email again, right? He was a big fan of my work. I owe this in particular because it's the only thing worth watching on your channel. I remember that one. And yes, imbalanced. If Terran did not get severely ahead or kill Toss in the early. Well, you did get severely ahead. You kind of did kill Toss as well in the early game, my friend. So even in your own complaint, it makes no sense because you were really far ahead. It's just your follow-up was absolutely terrible. Your micro in the first fight, I'm not quite sure what it was. Maybe some guys in the comments can have an explanation for that, but I'm not sure. So just gonna leave it to them. Then your follow-up is to try and attack again. You just keep sacrificing Vikings to the beautiful Protoss gods. I'm sure they're happy with it, but they don't really repay you in kind. I mean, this Toss played a solid game. I really can't say to her, like, I was like, what? All of his moves made sense. Like, it really was just you who wasn't making much sense. 5 racks, 2 starport against Phoenix opener. Really, buddy? Phoenix Colossus, 12 mines? What kind of defense is that? Get Vikings, get Colossus. Or get Vikings, get Cyclones. There we go. Yeah, it's not Toss that's imbalanced, my friends. It is you. That sucks. And that is going to be it for today's episode of Is It Imba or Do I Suck? If you did enjoy this episode, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It does help me a lot. There's more videos like these over here as well. Don't forget the thumbs up. And thanks all so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.